Good afternoon. It's 3 o'clock. Today is May 22nd, 2018, and thank you for coming. This is a meeting of the City Council. It's been noticed under the Brown Act as a special meeting. The purpose for that notice was to enable attendance of all council members who choose, but it will not be conducted by the council or the mayor. It will be conducted by staff. Council will not be taking any action or conversing amongst themselves. The sole purpose of this session is to conduct the short-term rental application lottery in a public setting. This meeting is being monitored by the accounting firm Hayashi Whalen. I want to thank you all for attending, and I'm going to turn this over to our city manager, Ben Hart.
Thank you all for being here. The city attorney did mention Mayor Bill Camp over here, Councilman Fisher, again, this is not a meeting where the council is taking action. They're just going to be out with you here, but I did want to acknowledge their presence, of course. Some housekeeping items regarding this meeting. It is being recorded, not being live streamed. So you'll have the opportunity to go back and watch this. However, you cannot watch it in real time. Thank you, Michael. Michael Laredo, our Deputy City Attorney. This is a process, and we're going to be marching through it. And so we're going to need your help with this. We're going to be actively involved in working as we go through here, so we're not going to be able to take interruptions or questions. So we ask that you help us with that. If you have a conversation that you'd like to have, we understand that. If you could go out in the courtyard if you feel the need to do so, that'd be helpful. We've got a lot to go through, and we don't want to keep you here all afternoon. I'm sure you probably understand that. We're going to explain the lottery process. I'm going to turn things over here in a moment to Terry, and she's going to do that. We're also going to do some sample runs so that you can see how this is designed to work. So it'll give you a chance to understand the process. It's a little involved, as you might imagine. So I think that's it. Terry, you want to take it from here?
Sure. Testing. Everyone can hear me? Thank you. So to start out with, staff generated 3 lists of STR license applications subject to review. Copies of these lists may be found in the lobby. For visual, List A includes all applications for licenses on underdense blocks that are determined to be exempt from the lottery. All applications on List A are eligible for renewal. List B includes all STR license applications on overdense blocks that are determined to be exempt from the lottery because the STR meets all zone of exclusion compliance criteria. All applications on List B are eligible for renewal. List C includes all STR applications on overdense blocks that are not exempt from the lottery. List C also includes 8 STR license applications that, while on an overdense block, will be designated not to sunset based on compliance with the zone of exclusion. These 8 will be eligible for renewal. As a point of reference, a map will be displayed that shows the overdense blocks, locations of STR applications on those blocks, and related zones of exclusion. The city rented standardized lottery equipment from a national company that supplies equipment to state lotteries and national sports leagues. The lottery machine will facilitate the randomization and selection of blocks and licenses on those blocks. This type of lottery machine was most recently used for the NBA draft just conducted. As the first step, the lottery selects and ranks in random order each identified overdense, non-exempt block from List C. There are 34 blocks in this group. As indicated on List B, there are 12 blocks that are defined as overdense, though each STR license on those blocks are exempt based on the zone of exclusion criterion. Since those blocks contain no STR licenses subject to the lottery, they are omitted from the process. For the 34 blocks with STR licenses subject to the lottery, there are 93 STR license applications. Lottery balls represent every block and every license application. Each ball has a number that corresponds to each block and each license application. Balls are placed in these bags, and each bag contains all the lottery balls representing the licenses on a given block. As noted, of the 93 licenses, 8 will be designated not to sunset based on the zone of exclusion criterion. These licenses appear on List C and will have balls representing them in the lottery. They are included to show the full population of the blocks while considering the other non-exempt STR licenses on the block. The remaining 85 STR licenses are subject to the lottery process. This lottery evaluates each ball as drawn. The STR license will sunset unless it meets one of the criteria for not sunsetting. In simple terms, it is better to be drawn later in the process rather than earlier. For the purposes of demonstration, staff will first conduct a non-binding dry run of the process to demonstrate how the lottery will proceed. During the actual lottery, balls numbered 1 to 34 will be placed in the machine first. The machine picks balls one at a time at random, and after the balls mix for 10 seconds, a button will be pushed to select the ball. Staff will immediately read the number and record it on a master list of blocks, starting at the top on the list and continuing down the list until the last ball is drawn and recorded. The sequence number will also be recorded on the bags. Once the random sequence for all blocks has been determined and each bag is labeled with its random sequence number, bags will then be organized in sequential order from 1 to 34. Next, the STR applications subject to the lottery will be reviewed block by block, and each bag is already populated with the balls representing each license on that block. Staff will place the balls from the first bag in the sequence into the lottery machine. Each STR application drawing will be reviewed against both the 15% block density limit as well as the 55-foot zone of exclusion. An STR application will not be required to sunset if it meets either of the two limits, the block density or zone of exclusion. For example, each selected block will be reviewed against the 15% block density limit. In screening the STR application against the 15% density limit, we will take into account all STR applications, ones that have been selected to continue and those that are yet to be examined, which remain in the lottery chamber. Next, each ball will be reviewed against the 55-foot zone of exclusion. If it complies, the license application will not sunset. If the selected STR application does not comply with the 55-foot zone of exclusion, then it will sunset. So first, we're going to provide a quick demonstration, and then after the demonstration, we will begin the real process and record the results. 3 sample blocks have been developed to help us with the demonstration.
Hello, welcome all. As Terry stated, we have randomly selected 3 city blocks for this non-binding demonstration. The vacation rentals, short-term rentals shown on these blocks are non-existent. They don't exist. They are created for the purpose of this demonstration. So the way the process will work is that each bag represents 1 city block, and it contains drawing balls corresponding with the vacation rental licenses on this block. So we have 3 blocks. First step in the process is that we randomize these blocks using the lottery machine. For the purpose of this non-binding demonstration, we are going to assume that block number 1, the sequence for consideration for the lottery is 1, so we will review this block first. Next, we will review our second block, and I will assume that number 2, that the random sequence for this block will be 2. And finally, we will review our third block, with the conclusion of the third block, we will conclude our demonstration and move on to the actual lottery. So each time I pick a bag for a block, I will describe the block, where it is located, and how many parcels does that block have, and how many vacation rentals are currently there on that block, and what is the density cap limit for that block. And after I have stated the facts for that block, I will be taking out the drawing balls that correlate with the 2, as you can see on the projector screen. We have 2 licenses, license 129 and license number 128. And this block is considered overdense because we have 2 STRs and the density cap allows only for 1 STR. And there's clearly an overlap as far as the ZOE is concerned. So this block is definitely subject to the lottery. So the process starts by placing the lottery balls for these 2 vacation rentals in the lottery chamber. Next, I will be asking our city clerk, Sandra, to start the mixing process for 10 seconds and then select a ball. As soon as the machine selects a ball, I will be reading the number. So the machine has selected ball number 129. This corresponds with license number 129. Considering that we still have 1 license remaining in the chamber and that the cap limit only allows for 1 license on this block, this license is not within the density cap limit, as well as this license overlaps with a license that is yet to be determined, and therefore this license will be required to sunset. As Terry earlier stated, that the later drawn in the process, the better it is for a license holder. Next, I ask city staff to record the number the lottery outcome on the matrix as well as in the computer. I'll ask. And then we have two balls here, one for STRs that are determined to sunset. So I'll be placing this ball in the sunset ball. At this point, I will ask Sandra again to mix and select the next ball. The machine has selected ball number 128, which corresponds with license number 128. This being the final last ball on this block is now within the density limit. This license also is now clear of the any ZOE limits. Therefore, this license is not required to sunset. And I will ask staff to record this in the matrix as well as in our computer. So at this point, the lottery for this specific block is concluded. I will be removing these balls from these balls and placing them in the bag, and I'll be putting this bag in the same order that I picked it. I will then be moving to the next block that was selected. So again, as I pick the next bag, I will describe I will state the block ID number and provide a description of the block and where it is located, including the number of parcels as well as how many STRs are there on that block and the allowable density cap. Then I take out the drawing balls for the three licenses, and these balls correspond with each license. I will be placing them in the lottery machine. So now that the balls are in the lottery chamber, I will ask Sandra to mix balls and select the first ball. I will read the number of the ball selected, which is 130, and this corresponds with license number 130. This license stands clear of the ZOE, which means that this complies with the zone of exclusion limit, as you can see, and that's that green parcel. There's no overlap. Therefore, this license will not be required to sunset. As Terry earlier stated, that we will be screening each short-term rental against two limits. If it meets either or, it will not be required to sunset. If it is not compliant with two limits, it will be required to sunset. In this case, this license is not required to sunset because it complies with the zone of exclusion limit. Now I'll ask Sandra to select the next ball, please. The machine has selected ball number 131, which corresponds with license number 131 on this block. Considering that we have one remaining in the lottery chamber and that we have already determined one to continue, this license will be required to sunset because it's not within the density limit. Also conflicts with a license that is yet to be determined as far as the ZOE is concerned. So this license number 131, is required to sunset, and I'll ask staff to record the outcome on the lottery matrix. I'll ask Sandra to mix and select the final ball on this. The last ball selected is 132. This corresponds with license number 132. This license is not required to sunset because now it is within the block density cap limit. It also has no ZOE conflict. Therefore, this license is not required to sunset, and I'll ask staff to record this number in the matrix as well as in our computers. This concludes the lottery process for this specific block, and I will place these balls in this bag and move this bag somewhere else. Next, we are reviewing our third block in our random sequence. This block, as you can see, has 10 parcels, 3 short-term rentals, and the density cap only allows for 1 short-term rental on this block. Green STR is on a different block, but is within the conflict zone with license 135. So this is a different scenario, and we'll find out how the results on this block unfold as we go through this process. At this point, after I've stated the block description and facts, I take out the drawing balls, place them in the lottery machine. I'll ask Sandra to mix and select the first ball, please. The machine has selected ball number 134. This ball corresponds with license number 134. This license is required to sunset because it is not within the density limit, 1. Number 2, it overlaps with an STR that is yet to be determined. License number 134 is required to sunset. And I'll ask staff to record the result in the matrix. Sandra, may we select the next ball, please? The machine has selected ball number 133. This corresponds with license number 133 on this block. Considering that the density, this license will not be required to sunset because it is now clear of the ZOE. Because we sunsetted license number 134 license number 133 has no longer any overlap as far as ZOE is concerned. Therefore, this license will not be required to sunset, and I'll ask staff to record the results in the matrix. Now I'll ask Sandra to select the final ball for this block. The machine has selected ball number 135. This corresponds with license number 135. This license is required to sunset because it is not within the density cap limit. Also, this license has an overlap with a pre-existing STR on an adjacent block. License number 135 is required to sunset. And I'll ask staff to record the results in the matrix. This concludes the lottery process for our third block. And okay. So our non-binding demonstration is concluded here. We will proceed with the actual lottery in a moment, but I would like Hayashi Wayland to make a few comments about the process.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rob Lee. I'm a CPA and partner with the accounting firm Hayashi Wayland. And we have reviewed the city ordinance and the lottery process that the city has established here. And so we are here to not only just verify that they follow the process that's been adopted, but we will be recording the results as well.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine. We'll start the actual lottery process in just a moment.
Pitchforks and
Okay.
pitchforks and we're already burning right now.
Sure.
Exactly.
So, all right. So we are starting the process. What Terry is holding here is a tube. It contains balls, lottery balls number 1 through 34, which represent the 34 overdense blocks. We will be placing these balls in the lottery chamber using this main entrance area. And we will start the block randomization process. Okay, so now we have placed the 34 balls in the lottery chamber. We'll be asking Sandra to mix the balls for 10 seconds and select a ball, one at a time. Each time when a ball is selected, that ball will represent a sequence number and will be assigned 2 blocks from top to bottom. I'll be reading the ball number to my colleagues. They'll be recording the random sequence number both in the matrix as well as on these bags. If I can ask Sandra to mix and select the first ball, please. Lottery machine has selected ball number 4. This will be the random sequence number for our first block listed on list C. We select the next ball, please. The machine has selected ball number 14. This will be the random sequence number for our next block on list C. We select the next ball, please. The machine has selected ball number 16. This will be our random sequence number for the third block on list C. We select the next ball, please. The machine has selected ball number 5. This will be our next random sequence number, number 5. We select the next ball, please. The machine has selected ball number 33. This will be our next sequence number, 33. We select the next ball, please. Our next sequence number is 28. We select the next ball, please. Ball selected is number 11. Our next sequence number is 11. We select the next ball, please. The machine has selected ball number 7. This is our next sequence number. We select the next ball, please. The machine has selected ball number 30. This is our next sequence number. We select the next ball, please. The machine has selected ball number 13. This is our next sequence number. 13. 1, 3. We select the next ball, please. next sequence number is 22. We select the next ball, please. Next ball selected is 23. This is our next sequence number. 23. We select the next ball, please. The next ball selected is 34. This is our next sequence number, 34. We select the next ball, please. Machine has selected ball number 29. This is our next sequence number, 29. We select the next ball, please. Our next ball selected is number 1. We select the next ball, please. The next ball selected is 24. This is our next sequence number, 24. We select the next ball, please. Our next ball selected is number 15. 15 is our next sequence number. Can we select the next ball, please? Our next sequence number is 2. We select the next ball, please. The next ball selected is number 9. This is our next sequence number, 9. We select the next ball, please. Next ball selected is number 27. This is our next sequence number, 27. We select the next ball, please. The next ball selected is number 19. This is our next sequence number. select the next ball, please. Our next ball selected is number 3. This is our next sequence number. We select our next ball, please. The next ball selected is number 10. This is our next sequence number. We select the next ball, please. The next ball selected is number 20. This is our next sequence number. We select the next ball, please. The next ball selected is number 26. This is our next sequence number. 26. We select the next ball, please. The next ball selected is number 31. This is our next sequence number. We select the next ball, please. The next ball selected is number 25. This is our next random sequence number, ball number 25. We select the next ball, please. The next ball selected is number 12. 12. We select the next ball, please. Our next random sequence number is 21. We select the next ball, please. Our next sequence number is 8. We select the next ball, please. Next ball is number 18. This is our next sequence number, 18. We select the next ball, please. next random sequence number is 17. 17. Can we select the next ball, please? Our next random sequence number is 32. 32. We select the final ball, please. And our last random sequence number is 6. Number 6. We have just completed assigning random sequence numbers to each block. Staff will take a moment to reorganize these bags in the random sequence that we just assigned to each block. So we'll just take a moment to reorganize these bags. Yeah. Okay. Okay. You're welcome. Maybe zoom out a little bit. No. Just use this. Good. Start.
Yeah, I want to.
Yeah, he's okay with my.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so staff just confirmed that the numbers that were recorded on the matrix here, as well as over there by several staff member match with the bags. So we are going to now organize the bags by the random sequence number that were assigned. Starting. Yeah, yeah. Terry, yeah, yeah.
Oh, don't worry, I'm not going in.
Yeah, okay.
Direct me
All right. Okay, 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 bye. Okay. All right, if I may. Oh. Why didn't you use- Okay. We will start the process in just a moment. We're setting up our map. No, no. Debbie, there's one by Debbie's desk. When it's on hotspot.
Gobbles
Yeah,
it up.
yeah, yeah. Hang on, wait a minute. The password. Connected.
Give us a moment, folks. There's a
I don't know, maybe turn it off. Is this your Wi-Fi? Is this your Wi-Fi? Do this, and then turn it back on.
I might have to try something.
No. Do you see mine listed there? hotspot? Do you, to your phone?
Want to look at mine?
We said you weren't ready to be a game show. There's no joy in the delivery. There shouldn't be. It's the right delivery.
Yeah.
It's probably good that you're not ready to be a
Yeah.
game show. We're going to take.
We're good? Okay, let me, no, 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 no. It's this. Yeah. Are you connected? Which network are you connected to? Okay, 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 so it is working. Okay, okay. It's back up. So,
We could start, Haroon.
yeah, we could start. Do we want to?
Okay, we're going to kick back in. Thank you. Back over to our game show.
All right, we apologize for this delay, which was totally unforeseen. Okay, so now we have ordered these blocks in the random sequence. We will be starting with our first block in this order, and then make our way through the back. So I'll start with our first block in this process. Just a point of clarification, when I state the block ID number, try to locate that on list C on the matrix so you can follow what is happening here. So we are now considering block number 224. The random sequence is 1. This was selected to be reviewed first. So we are considering this for the lottery first. The block ID is 224. This block is located between Ocean View Boulevard, Dewey Street, Sloat, and First Street. This block contains 22 parcels. There are 5 STRs on this block. The density cap allows only for 3 STRs on this block. You will notice on the matrix that there is one ZOE compliant STR, but we are going to subject all 5 STRs on this block to the process. And as we select each ball, we will be reviewing it against the 2 criterias. If it meets either or of the 2 criterias, we will be exempting it from sunsetting. Otherwise, the license will be required to sunset. So I'm going to now place these 5 balls in the lottery machine. These 5 drawing balls correspond with a vacation rental with an STR license that are located on this block.
That is illustrative. We're going to keep moving along with this.
Kirsty, I'm sorry, we are not going to take questions at this time. Yeah, there are 5 STRs on that block. There's one that complies with the ZOE criteria, but as I said earlier, we are considering the full population on that block for this process. And as we take out a ball, as the ball is selected, we will be reviewing it against the 2 criterias. If it meets either or, it will not be required to sunset.
Just a point of clarification. Verify it.
Okay, now we have placed the 5 STRs on this block in the lottery machine. I will ask Sandra to mix the balls and select the first STR license. The machine has selected ball number 79. This corresponds with license number 0337, which is for 185 Ocean View Boulevard. This license is not required to sunset because it complies with the 55-foot zone of exclusion, which has been predetermined. And this takes 1 spot from the total density cap limit. I will ask staff to record the result for license number 0337 as not being required to sunset based on ZOE compliance. I will ask Sandra to mix the balls and select our next STR license. The machine has selected ball number 83. This corresponds with license number 0357, which is for 197 Ocean View Boulevard. This license is required to sunset because it is not within the density limit, considering that we still have 3 remaining in the chamber. Also, this license has a ZOE overlap with 1 or more of these licenses that are yet to be determined. Therefore, this license is required to sunset. I will request staff to record license number 0357 for 197 Ocean View Boulevard as being required to sunset. I'll ask Sandra to mix the balls and select our next ball. The machine has selected ball number 81. This corresponds with license number 0227, which is for 191 Ocean View Boulevard, Unit B. This license is not within the density cap limit considering that we still have two in the chamber. Plus, this license has an overlap with one or more of the licenses that are remaining in the chamber. I will ask staff to record license number 0227 as being required to sunset. Now I will ask Sandra to select the next ball. Machine has selected ball number 80. This corresponds with license number 0089, which is for 193 Ocean View Boulevard. This license, considering that we have exempted one from sunsetting and that we only have one remaining in the chamber, in that the density cap is 3, is now within the density limit, and therefore it will not be required to sunset. I will ask staff to record the results for license number 0089 for 193 Ocean View Boulevard as not being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? Last ball being selected is 82. This corresponds with STR license number 0286, which is for 191 Ocean View Boulevard, Unit A. This license is now within the cap limit, considering that we have two licenses not being required to sunset, and the cap allows for 3 STRs on this block. This is within the density cap limit and therefore not required to sunset. I will ask staff to record the results for license number 0286 for 191 Ocean View Boulevard, Unit A, as not being required to sunset because this license is within the density cap limit. So we have sunsetted 2 STRs on this block, and the lottery process determined 3 STRs to not be required to sunset. And I'm going to place these balls again in the same bag. Results have been recorded in the matrix. Now I will proceed to the next block. So the block we are considering for the lottery next is block number 245. This was our second in the random sequence number. This block is located between Eardley, Lighthouse, Line, and Lane Street. This block contains 6 parcels, 3 STRs. The density cap does not allow for any STR. However, a license may be allowed on this block provided that there is no ZOE conflict for that STR being selected. I'm now going to take the 3 balls that correspond with the 3 STRs on this block, and I'll place them in the lottery machine. I will ask Sandra to mix the balls and select our first ball for consideration. ball being selected is 90. This corresponds with license number 0267 for 205 Eardley Avenue, Unit A. This license is required to sunset because it is not within the density cap limit, 1. Number 2, it has ZOE conflict overlap with the licenses that are yet to be determined. I will ask staff to record the result for license number 0267 as being required to sunset, because this license is not within the density cap limit and has ZOE overlap. I'll ask Sandra to select the next ball. Next ball selected is 89. This corresponds with license number 0164, which is for 117 Lighthouse Avenue. This license, considering that the block density does not allow for any STR on this block, is not within the block density limit. Plus, this has a zone of exclusion conflict with the license that is yet to be determined. I will ask staff to record the results for license number 10164 as being required to sunset because of ZOE conflict and density. I will ask Sandra to select the final ball on this block. Machine has selected ball number 91. This corresponds with license number 0268, which is for 205 Eardley Avenue, Unit B. This license will not be required to sunset because we have sunsetted the license number 0164 and 0267. Therefore, this license has no overlap, and I will ask staff at this point to record the results for license number 0268 for 205 Eardley Avenue, Unit B, as not being required to sunset because it now complies with the zone of exclusion limit. We have sunsetted 2 STRs on this block and not required to sunset 1 STR. We have concluded the lottery process for our second block. I will now proceed with the third block. We will now consider block number 265 for the lottery. This was selected to be reviewed and considered third in the random sequence. This block is located between Pine, 8th, Laurel, and 7th Street. It has 9 parcels, 2 STRs, and the density cap allows for 1 STR. I am now going to place the 2 balls corresponding with the 2 vacation rentals on this block in the lottery machine. I will ask Sandra to mix the balls and select the first ball for consideration. The machine has selected ball number 101, which corresponds with license number 0284 for 348 Pine Avenue. This license is required to sunset because it is not within the block density limit, with 1 license remaining in the chamber and the density cap being 1. I will ask staff to record the result for license number 0284 as being required to sunset. We select the next ball, please. The machine has selected ball number 100, which corresponds with license number 0283, which is for 346 Pine Avenue. This license is now within the block density limit. It also meets the zone of exclusion criteria, with one license being required to sunset. And I will ask staff to record the results for license number 0283 as being required to sunset. To continue, not required to sunset. We have required one license to sunset and the other license to not sunset. We have concluded the lottery process for this block. We will move on to our next block. The block we are considering for the lottery now is block number 021. This block is located between Ocean View, Esplanade, Beacon, and Coral. It has 11 parcels, 2 STRs, and the density cap is only 1. We have 2 STRs on this block. I'm going to place the 2 balls corresponding with each STR in the lottery machine. I will ask Sandra to select the first ball. The machine has selected ball number 35. This corresponds with license number 0157, which is for 1135 Ocean View Boulevard. Density cap being 1, and with 1 license remaining in the chamber, this license is not within the density cap limit and therefore required to sunset. It also overlaps with the STR that is yet to be determined. I will ask staff to record the results for license number 0157 as being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? Next ball selected is 36. This corresponds with license number 0336, which is for 1141 Ocean View Boulevard. This license is now within the block density limit, considering that the cap allows for 1 STR. It also has no ZOE overlap, provided that we sunsetted the next door STR. I'll ask staff to record the results for license number 0336 for 1141 Ocean View Boulevard as not being required to sunset. On this block, we have required 1 license to sunset and the other to not sunset. We have concluded the lottery process for this block. We will move on to our next block. The next block we will consider for the lottery is block number 0373. It is located between Ocean View Boulevard, Naiad, Mermaid, Fleet. It has 8 parcels, 4 STRs. Density cap allows for 1 STR. I'm going to take these 4 drawing balls and place them in the lottery machine. These correspond with the STRs on this block. Now I will ask Sandra to mix the balls and select the first ball. The machine has selected ball number 44. This corresponds with license number 0065, which is for 701 Ocean View Boulevard. This license is not within the density cap limit, considering that we have 3 remaining in the chamber and the density cap is only 1. I will ask staff to record the results for license number 0065 for 701 Ocean View Boulevard as being required to sunset. We select the next ball, please. The next ball selected is 45. This corresponds with license number 0229, which is for 715 Ocean View Boulevard. This license is being required to sunset because it is not within the density cap limit, 1. Number 2, it overlaps with other STRs on the block that are yet to be determined. I'll ask staff to record the results for license number 0229 as being required to sunset. We select the next ball, please. Next ball selected is 43. This corresponds with license number 0024, which is for 719 Ocean View Boulevard. This license is not within the block density cap limit. It also overlaps with a license that is yet to be determined. Therefore, it is required to sunset. I'll ask staff to record the results for license number 0024 as being required to sunset. Select the next ball, please. Next ball being selected is 42. This corresponds with license number 0023, which is for 717 Ocean View Boulevard. This license is now within the density cap limit, which is 1. Therefore, it will not be required to sunset. I'll ask staff to record the results for license number 0023 as not being required to sunset. We have since required 3 licenses to sunset and 1 not required to sunset. We have concluded the lottery process for this block, and I will move on to our next block. And before I dive into this next block, I would like to point out to our map and what our colleague is doing here, just so you all can follow. All parcels or dots that are in gray color indicate that those are the licenses that were sunsetted. So just as a point of clarification. Gray indicate licenses being required to sunset. Yellow and green dots indicate licenses not being required to sunset. And these will come handy when we review these blocks for consideration of the ZOE. Our next block that we will consider for the lottery is block number 7-071. It has 9 parcels, 2 STRs. The density cap allows only for 1 STR. I'm now placing 2 balls which correspond with the 2 licenses in the lottery machine. I will ask Sandra to mix and select the first ball, please. Ball being selected is 127. This corresponds with license number 0384, which is for 1771 Sunset Drive. This license is being required to sunset because it is not within the density cap limit, considering that we still have 1 remaining in the lottery chamber. I will ask staff to record the results for license number 0384 as being required to sunset because it is not within the density cap limit. It also has ZOE conflict with the license that is yet to be determined. Can we select the next ball, please? The final ball selected on this block is 126, which corresponds with license number 0104 for 1368 Pico Avenue. This license is now within the block density limit and therefore not required to sunset. I will ask staff to record the results for license number 0104 for 1368 Pico as not being required to sunset. Because it's within the block density limit, it also now complies with the ZOE because we sunsetted the other STR. On this block, we have required 1 license to sunset and the other to not sunset. And this concludes the lottery process for this block. We will now move on to our next block. The next block randomly selected for the lottery is block number 156. This block is located between Ocean View Boulevard, Forest, Union, and 16th Street. It has 16 parcels, 10 STRs, and the density cap allows for 2 STRs on that block. Now, I'm going to take the 10 drawing balls and place them in the lottery machine. Now I will ask Sandra to mix the balls and select our first ball for consideration. The ball being selected is number 62, which corresponds with license number 0168 for 585 Ocean View Boulevard, unit number 9. This license is being required to sunset because it is not within the density cap limit, as well as it overlaps with other STRs that are yet to be determined. 0168 being required to sunset. We select the next wall, please. The next spot selected is 65, which corresponds with license number 0255 for 585 Ocean View Boulevard, unit number 3. This license is being required to sunset because it is not within the block density cap limit. It also overlaps with STRs that are yet to be determined. License number 0255 being required to sunset. Can we select the next wall, please? The next spot selected is 61. This corresponds with license number 0156, which is for 585 Ocean View Boulevard, unit number 5. This license is required to sunset because it is not within the block density cap limit. It also overlaps with other STRs that are yet to be determined on that block. License number 0156 being required to sunset. Can we select the next wall, please? The next wall selected is 60. This corresponds with license number 0155 for 585 Ocean View Boulevard, unit number 2. This license is being required to sunset because we are still not within the block density limit. It also overlaps, as far as ZOE is concerned, with the undetermined STRs on that block. License number 0155 being required to sunset. Can we select the next wall, please? The next spot selected is 63. This corresponds with license number 0196, which is for 585 Ocean View Boulevard, unit number 1. This license is required to sunset because it is not within the block density cap limit. It also has ZOE overlap with the STRs that are yet to be determined. License number 0196 being required to sunset. Can we select the next wall, please? The next wall selected is 66, which corresponds with license number 0392, which is for 585 Ocean View Boulevard, unit number 7. This license is not within the block density cap limit. It also has ZOE overlap with the licenses that are yet to be determined and therefore required to sunset. License number 0392 being required to sunset. Can we select the next wall, please? The next block selected is 59. This corresponds with license number 0126 for 108 Forest Avenue. This license is not within the density cap limit. Furthermore, it has overlap with the STRs that are yet to be determined. Therefore, it is required to sunset. License number 0126 being required to sunset. We now have 3 STRs remaining in the chamber, and the density cap allows for two STRs. I'll ask Sandra to select the next ball, please. Next ball selected is 64. This corresponds with license number 0199, which is for 112 Forest Avenue. This license is being required to sunset because it is not within the block density cap limit. Let me confer with my colleague and check to see if we still have ZOE overlap. And it also has conflict with license number 125, for the record. License number 0199 being required to sunset based on both criteria. We select the next ball, please. Next ball selected is 58. This corresponds with license number 0125, which is for 111 16th Street. This license is now within the block density cap limit and therefore not required to sunset. Let me check the map. Check to see if it also complies with the ZOE. It meets the block density cap limit criteria, and therefore it will not be required to sunset. So I'll ask staff to record the results for 0125 or 111 16th Street as not being required to sunset. Can we select the final ball, please? The next ball selected is 57. This corresponds with license number 0059, which is for 585 Ocean View Boulevard, unit number 6. This license is now within the block density cap limit, considering that the cap limit is 2, and we have only determined one not to sunset. So I will ask staff to record the results for license number 0059 as not being required to sunset. As a result, we have required 8 licenses to sunset and 2 to not be required to sunset on that block. We have concluded the lottery for this block. We will now move on to our next block. We are now considering block number 348. Which is located between Bentley, Short, Walcott, Heacock. It has 10 parcels, 2 STRs. The density cap is 1. Now I'm going to place the 2 balls in the lottery machine. Can we select the first ball, please? The machine has selected ball number 118, which corresponds with license number 0374, which is for 230 Bentley Street. This license is being required to sunset because it is not within the block density cap limit. Furthermore, it overlaps with the next door STR as far as ZOE is concerned. I will ask staff to record the results for license number 0374 as being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? The machine has selected ball number 117, which corresponds with license number 0266 for 225 Walcott Way. This license is now within the block density limit, and it also is clear of ZOE, considering that we have sunsetted the next door STR. License number 0266 not being required to sunset. We have since required 1 license to sunset and the other to not sunset. And this concludes the lottery for this block. We will move on to our next block. Next block we are considering for the lottery is block number 251. It has 13 parcels, 3 STRs. The density cap allows only 1 STR on the block. I will take the 3 drawing balls and place them in the lottery machine. We select the first ball, please. The machine has selected ball number 93, which corresponds with license number 0262 for 219 8th Street, Unit A. This license is being required to sunset because it is not within the block density limit. A. B. It has overlap with the 2 STRs that are in the chamber. License number 0262 being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? The machine has selected ball number 94, which is for license number 0328 for 219 8th Street, Unit B. This license is being required to sunset because it is not within the block density limit. Furthermore, it has overlap with a neighboring STR, the one that is yet to be determined. License number 0328 being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? next block selected is 92. This corresponds with license number 0175, which is for 215 8th Street. This license is now within the block density cap limit, and it also has no ZOE overlap because the other two STRs were just determined to be required to sunset. License number 0175 within the block density cap limit and not required to sunset. On this block, we have determined 2 licenses to be required to sunset and 1 not required to sunset. Now I will move on to the next block. The next block we are considering for the lottery is block number 269. It has 9 parcels, 2 STRs, and the cap limit, the density cap limit is only 1. I'll now place the balls in the lottery machine. We select the first ball, please. Ball being selected is 102, which corresponds with license number 0288 for 308 Monterey Avenue. This license is being required to sunset because it is not within the block density cap limit. Furthermore, it overlaps with the neighboring STR as far as ZOE is concerned. License number 0288 being required to sunset. We select the next ball, please. Next ball selected is 103, which corresponds with license number 0424 for 305 11th Street. This license is now within the block density cap limit. Furthermore, it does not have any overlaps because we required the neighboring STR to sunset. License number 0424 not being required to sunset. We have required 1 license to sunset and the other not to sunset. We will now move on to our next block. The next block we are considering for the lottery is block number 144. This block is located between Pacific, Union, and Caledonia. It has 4 parcels, 1 STR. The density cap does not allow for any STR on that block. We're not going to place this in the lottery machine. Being the only STR on this block, we are not going to place this in the lottery machine. We have examined the zone of exclusion for this STR, and it does overlap as far as ZOE is concerned with a neighboring STR. So this license is being required to sunset because it is not within the block density limit. Furthermore, it overlaps with license number 379. I will ask staff to record the results for license number 0393 for 135 Pacific as being required to sunset. This concludes the process for this block. We will now move on to our next block. The block we are considering now for the lottery is block number 332. which is located between Chestnut, Laurel, Alder, and Short Street. It has 12 parcels, 2 STRs, and the density cap allows only for 1 STR. I'm now going to place the 2 STRs in the lottery machine. And now I'll ask Sandra to select the first ball. Ball being selected is 113113, which corresponds with license number 0242 for 252 Chestnut Street. This license is being required to sunset because it is not within the block density limit. Furthermore, it overlaps with license number 0170. License number 0242 being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? Next ball selected is 112. This is for license number 0170 for 248 Chestnut Street. This license is now within the block density limit. It also has no ZOE conflict and therefore not required to sunset. License number 0170 not required to sunset. As a result, we have required 1 license to sunset and 1 not to sunset. We will now move on to our next block. The block we are considering for the lottery now is block number 178, which is located between 15th, Lighthouse, Fountain, Dock, Ricketts Row. It has 6 parcels, 1 STR. The density cap does not allow for any STR on that block. And being the only STR on this block, we are not going to place this ball in the lottery machine. We will review this STR against the 2 criteria. First, it is not within the block density cap limit. Next, it has overlap with license number 0234 on an adjacent block, and therefore this license is required to sunset. License number 0144 being required to sunset. 160 15th Street. And this concludes the lottery process for this block. We will move on to our next block. Block we are considering for the lottery is block number 064, which is located between Del Monte, Siren, Balboa, CPOM. It has 10 parcels, 2 STRs. The density cap allows for 1 STR. And now I'll place the 2 STRs in the lottery machine. And I'll ask Sandra to select the first ball. The machine has selected ball number 37, which corresponds with license number 0150 for 868 Del Monte Boulevard. This license is not going to be required to sunset because it complies with the zone of exclusion criteria. license number 0150 not being required to sunset because it complies with the zone of exclusion criteria. I'll ask Sandra to select the next ball. Next ball selected is ball number 38, which corresponds with license number 0052 for 888 Del Monte Boulevard, Unit B. This license is required to sunset because it is not within the block density cap limit, considering that we have already determined one STR to not sunset and that the cap is only one. Furthermore, this STR overlaps with license number 148 on a neighboring block. License number 0052 being required to sunset. On this block, we have required one license to sunset and the other not to sunset. We will now move on to our next block. The block we are considering for the lottery now is block number 228, which is located between Lighthouse, 4th, Central, and 3rd Street. It has 10 parcels, 2 STRs. The density cap is 1. Now I'm going to place the 2 STRs in the lottery machine. And I will ask Sandra to select the first ball. Machine has selected ball number 88. This corresponds with license number 0412, which is for 121 4th Street. This license is being required to sunset because it is not within the block density cap limit. Furthermore, it conflicts with license number 253 right across on the adjacent block. License number 0412 being required to sunset. We select the next ball, please. Next ball selected is 87, which corresponds with license number 0302 for 244 Lighthouse Avenue, Unit B. This license is now within the block density cap limit and therefore not required to sunset. We have required one license to sunset and one license not to sunset. We will now move on to our next block. We are now considering block number 071 for the lottery. It is located between Ocean View Boulevard, Moss, Mermaid, Sea Palm. It has 9 STRs, 9 parcels, 3 STRs, and the density cap is only 1. Please note there are 2 STRs that comply with the zone of exclusion limit. However, we are going to subject the entire population for all 3 STRs on this block to the process. Now I'm placing the 3 balls in the lottery machine. We select the first ball, please. The machine has selected ball number 39. This corresponds with license number 0404 for 811 Ocean View Boulevard. This license is not required to sunset because it complies with the zone of exclusion criteria. License number 0404, not required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? The machine has selected ball number 40. This corresponds with license number 0031 for 821 Ocean View Boulevard. This license is not going to be required to sunset because it complies with the zone of exclusion limit. There is no overlap as far as the 55-foot range is concerned. License number 0031 not being required to sunset. We select the next ball, please. Next ball selected is 41. It is for license number 0124 for 802 Mermaid Avenue. This license is no longer within the block density cap limit. Furthermore, it overlaps with license numbers 398 and 165 on adjacent blocks. License number 10124 being required to sunset. On this block, we have required 1 license to sunset and 2 licenses not to sunset. We will now move on to our next block. We are now considering block number 504 for the lottery. This block is located between 7th, Pine, 6th, and Spruce. It has 11 parcels, 2 STRs, and the density cap allows for 1 STR. I am going to place the 2 STRs in the lottery machine. And now I will ask Sandra to mix and select the first ball. The machine has selected ball number 121. This corresponds with license number 0003, which is for 409 7th Street. This license is required to sunset because it is not within the block density limit, considering that we have 1 remaining in the chamber. License number 0003 being required to sunset. We select the next ball, please. Next ball selected is 122. This corresponds with license number 0252 for 415 7th Street. This license is now within the block density cap limit. It also has no ZOE overlap, considering that we have already determined one to sunset. Therefore, this license is not required to sunset. License number 0252, not being required to sunset. On this block, we have required one license to sunset and the other not to sunset. We will now move on to our next block. Block we are considering for the lottery now is block number 495. This block is located between Monterey, Spruce, 10th Street, and Junipero Avenue. It has 11 parcels, 2 STRs, and the density cap allows for 1 STR. We will now place the balls in the lottery machine. And I will ask Sandra to select the first ball. The machine has selected ball number 119. This is for license number 0300, which is for 505 Monterey Avenue. This license is being required to sunset because it is not within the block density cap limit. Furthermore, it overlaps with another STR on the same parcel that is yet to be determined. License number 0300 being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? Final ball on this block is 120, and this corresponds with license number 0301 or 505 and a half Monterey Avenue. This license is now within the block density limit and does not overlap with the one being already sunsetted. License number 0301 not being required to sunset. We have required one license to sunset and the other not to sunset on this block. We will now move on to our next block. The block that we are considering for the lottery now is block number 253, which is located between 6th, Lighthouse, 5th, and Laurel. It has 12 parcels, 2 STRs, and the density cap is only 1. I'm now placing the 2 balls in the lottery machine, and I will ask Sandra to select the first ball. The machine has selected ball number 98. This corresponds with license number 0115 for 211 6th Street. This license is required to sunset because it is not within the block density cap limit. 1, 2, it overlaps with license numbers 278 and 334. License number 0115 being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? The next ball selected is 99. This corresponds with license number 0278 for 222 5th Street. This license is now within the block density cap limit. It also has no ZOE overlap because we just sunsetted the STR at, where there was overlap. License number 0278, not being required to sunset. We have required one license to sunset and one license not to sunset on this block. We will now go on to our next block. And the block that we are considering for the lottery now is block number 283, which is located between Lighthouse, Fountain, Laurel, and Grand. This block has 15 parcels, 3 STRs, and the density cap limit is only 2. I will now place the 3 balls in the lottery machine. And I will ask Sandra to select the first ball. The machine has selected ball number 106, which corresponds with license number 0421 for 549 Lighthouse Avenue. This license is being required to sunset because it is not within the block density limit, considering that we still have 2 remaining in the chamber and the cap limit is 2. It also overlaps with the 2 STRs that are yet to be determined as far as the ZOE is concerned. License number 0421 being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? The next ball being selected is 104. This corresponds with license number 0241 for 541 Lighthouse Avenue. This license is now within the block density cap limit, considering that we only have 1 remaining in the chamber and the cap limit is 2. This license number 0254, not being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? Not required. The next ball being selected is 105, which corresponds with license number 0419 for 213 Grand Avenue. Is also within the block density cap limit now and is not being required to sunset. License number 0419, not being required to sunset. We have required 1 license to sunset and 2 licenses not to sunset. And we'll now move on to the next block. The block we are considering for the lottery now is block number 344, which is located between Walnut, Short, Chestnut, and Lighthouse. It has 17 parcels, 3 STRs, and the density cap is only 2. Now I'll place the 3 balls in the lottery machine. And I will ask Sandra to select the first ball. The next ball selected is 114. This corresponds with license number 0050 for 863 Lighthouse Avenue. This license is being required to sunset because it is not within the block density cap limit. Furthermore, it has overlap with license number 0092 on that block. License number 0050 being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? The next ball being selected is 116. This corresponds with license number 0120, which is for 862 Short Street. This license is now within the block density cap limit and therefore not required to sunset. License number 0120, not required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? Next and final ball on this block is 115, which corresponds with license number 0092, which is for 210 Walnut Street. This license is also within the block density cap limit and therefore not required to sunset. License number 0092 within the density cap limit, not being required to sunset. On this block, we have required 1 license to sunset and 2 licenses not to sunset. We will now consider our next block. The block we are considering for the lottery now is block number 204, which is located between Lighthouse, 8th, Central, and 7th. It has 14 parcels, 3 STRs. The density cap is 2. Please note that this block has 1 STR that complies with the zone of exclusion criteria. However, we are going to subject them to the process for transparency and record. I will now ask Sandra to select the first ball. The machine has selected ball number 70, which corresponds with license number 0281 for 136 7th Street. This STR complies with the zone of exclusion limit and is therefore not required to sunset. License number 0281, not required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? The ball being selected is 72. This corresponds with license number 0215 for 322 Lighthouse Avenue, Unit A. This license is being required to sunset because it is not within the block density cap limit, considering that we have already determined 1 license to not sunset and that we have 1 remaining in the chamber. So license number 0215 being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? next ball being selected is 71, which corresponds with license number 0208 for 322 Lighthouse Avenue, Unit B. This license is now within the block density limit, provided that we have determined 1 to continue and that the cap limit is 2. So license number 0208 not being required to sunset. We have determined 1 license to sunset and 2 licenses not to sunset. We will now consider our next block. Our next block that we will consider for the lottery is block number 211, which is located between Ocean View Boulevard, 10th Street, Pearl in Monterey Avenue. It has 1 parcel, 2 STRs, and the density cap allows only for 1. I'm now placing the 2 balls in the lottery machine. I will ask Sandra to select the first ball. Yeah. ZOE will allow 1. The ball being selected is 73. This corresponds with license number 0096, which is for 393 Ocean View Boulevard, Unit B. This license is required to sunset because it is not within the block density cap limit. Furthermore, it has overlap with the license that is yet to be determined on that block as far as the zone of exclusion limit is concerned. License number 0096 being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? Ball being selected is 74, which corresponds with license number 0366 for 393 Ocean View Boulevard, Unit number A. This license is not required to sunset because it no longer has a ZOE conflict with the one being sunsetted on that block. License number 0366 not being required to sunset. So we have required 1 license to sunset and 1 not to sunset on this block. We will consider the next block for consideration. The block we will consider for the lottery now is block number 227. It's located between 2nd, Lighthouse, 3rd, Central, and Evans. It has 6 parcels, 3 STRs. The density cap does not allow for any STR on this block. We will now place the 3 STRs in the lottery machine. And I'll ask Sandra to select the first ball, please. Machine has selected ball number 85, which corresponds with license number 172, which is for 134 2nd Street. This license is being required to sunset because it is not within the block density limit. Furthermore, it has zone of exclusion conflict with license number 114 in 323. So license number 0172 being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? The ball being selected is 86, which corresponds with license number 0323, which is for 226 Lighthouse Avenue. This license is being required to sunset because it is not within the block density limit. Furthermore, it has conflict with, it has the ZOE conflict with an STR that has already been determined to not sunset. So license number 0323 being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? Can you apply 55 feet, 55 foot to the 140? The machine has selected ball number 84, which corresponds with license number 0114, which is for 231 Central Avenue. This license, although not within the block density cap limit, is not required to sunset because of compliance with the zone of exclusion limit. These two STRs have already been determined to sunset. Therefore, this STR no longer has a zone of exclusion conflict and is not required to sunset. License number 0114, not required to sunset. On this block, we have determined 2 STRs to sunset and 1 STR not to sunset. We will now consider our next block for the lottery. The block we will consider for the lottery now is block number 318, which is located between Park, Short, Congress, Lighthouse. It has 10 parcels, 2 STRs, and the density cap allows for 1 STR on this block. I am now going to place the 2 balls representing the 2 STRs in the lottery machine. And I will ask Sandra to select the first ball. The machine has selected ball number 111, which corresponds with license number 0376, which is for 215 Congress Avenue. This license is being required to sunset because it is not within the block density cap limit. Furthermore, it has a zone of exclusion conflict with license number 211 as well as 233 on the same block. So license number 0376 being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? The machine has selected ball number 110, which corresponds with license number 0233, which is for 210 Park Street. This license is not required to sunset because it is now within the block density cap limit. License number 0233, not required to sunset. We have required 1 license to sunset on this block and 1 not to sunset. We will now consider the next block for the lottery. The block we're considering for the lottery now is block number 284, which is located between Lighthouse, 15th, Laurel, and Fountain. It has 3 parcels, 1 STR, and the density cap does not allow for any STR. Being the only STR on the block, we will review this against the 55-foot zone of exclusion and check to see whether it now complies. Determined to continue. License number 0293, based on a ZOE conflict, is now required to sunset. This concludes the process for this block. We will move on to our next block. The block we will consider for the lottery now is block number 252, which is located between 6th, Laurel, 7th, and Lighthouse. It has 10 parcels, 3 STRs, and the density cap allows for 1 STR. I will now place the 3 drawing balls in the lottery machine representing the 3 STRs. And I'll ask Sandra to select the first ball. The machine has selected ball number 95, which corresponds with license number 0016, which is for 209 7th Street. This license is required to sunset because it is not within the block density limit. And it also has ZOE conflict with the 2 STRs that are yet to be determined. License number 0016 being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? The machine has selected ball number 96, which represents license number 0153 or 2077 Street, unit number 1. This license is required to sunset because it is not within the block density cap limit. It also overlaps with the remaining STR that's in the lottery chamber. License number 0153 being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? The ball being selected is 97. This represents license number 0334 for 214 6th Street, number 4. This license is now within the block density cap limit and is therefore not required to sunset. License number 0334, not required to sunset. We have required 2 licenses to sunset and 1 license not to sunset. We will move on to our next block. The block we will consider for the lottery now is block number 123, which is located between Bayview, 17 Mile Drive, and Lighthouse. It has 5 STRs. 5 parcels, 3 STRs, and the density cap is only 1. I will now place the I apologize. The density cap is 0. However, based on ZOE compliance, there may be a chance for one license to not be required to sunset. I will now place the 3 balls in the lottery machine. And I'll ask Sandra to select the first ball. The machine has selected ball number 54, which corresponds with license number 0330 for 1039 Bayview Boulevard, Unit B. This license is required to sunset because it is not within the block density cap limit. Furthermore, it has overlap with the 2 remaining STRs on the same parcel. License number 0330 being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? The machine has selected ball number 55, which represents license number 0331, which is for 1039 Bayview Boulevard, Unit C. This license is required to sunset because it is not within the block density cap limit. Furthermore, it overlaps with the license remaining in the chamber as far as ZOE is concerned. License number 0331 being required to sunset. Can we select the final ball, please? The ball being selected is 53, which corresponds with license number 0186 for 1039 Bayview Boulevard, Unit A. This license is not required to sunset because it now complies with the zone of exclusion limit. With the 2 STRs being sunsetted on the same parcel and no overlap on other blocks. License number 0186 is not required to sunset. We have required 2 licenses to sunset on this block and 1 not to sunset. We will consider the next block for the lottery. The block we will consider for the lottery now is block number 223, which is located between 1st, Central, and 2nd. It has 3 parcels, 2 STRs. The density cap is 0. We will place these balls in the lottery machine. Can we select the first ball, please? machine has selected ball number 77, which represents license number 0028 for 114 First Street, Unit B. This license is required to sunset because it is not within the block density cap limit. One, two, it also overlaps with license number 0097 on the same parcel. License number 0028 being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? The ball being selected is 78, which corresponds with license number 0097 for 114 First Street, Unit A. This license is not required to sunset because it complies with the zone of exclusion limit, with the other license on the same parcel being determined to sunset. License number 0097 not required to sunset. We have determined one STR license to sunset and the other not to sunset. We'll move on to our next block. Reminder. We are now considering block number 161 for the lottery. It is located between 19th, Central, Caledonia, and Union. It has 13 parcels, 2 STRs, and the density cap is only 1. Please note that there is one STR on this block that meets the zone of exclusion limit. We are including them in the process for transparency and full record. I'll ask Sandra to select the first ball. The machine has selected ball number 68, which corresponds with license number 0110 for 148 19th Street. This license is required to sunset because it is not within the block density cap limit. 1. 2, it overlaps with the zone of exclusion of license number 11. License number 0110 being required to sunset. We select the next ball, please. The machine has selected ball number 67, which corresponds with license number 0055 for 140 19th Street. As mentioned earlier, this STR has no overlap as far as ZOE is concerned. This license is also now within the block density cap limit and therefore not required to sunset. We have required one license to sunset and the other not to sunset. And we will move on to our next block. The block we are considering for the lottery now is block number 314. It is located between Lighthouse, Wood, Short, and Granite. It has 10 parcels, 2 STRs, and the density cap is only 1. I will place these 2 STRs in the lottery machine. And I'll ask Sandra to select the first ball, please. machine has selected ball number 108, which represents license number 0258, which is for 765 Lighthouse Avenue, unit number 2. This license is required to sunset because it is not within the density cap limit. 1. 2, it overlaps with the license number 0345 on the same parcel. So license number 0258 being required to sunset. We select the next ball, please. The ball being selected is 109. This represents license number 0345, which is for 208 Wood Street. This license is now within the block density cap limit. It also now complies with the zone of exclusion limit, with the one license being already determined to sunset. So license number 0345 not being required to sunset. We have determined one license to sunset and one not to sunset on this block. We will now move on to our next block. The block we will consider for the lottery now is block number 514, which is located between Early, Spencer, Line, and Spruce Avenue. It has 9 parcels. 3 STRs, and the density cap is 1. We will now place the 3 balls representing the 3 STRs in the lottery machine. And I will ask Sandra to select the first ball, please. The machine has selected ball number 124, which represents license number 0326 for 425 Early Avenue, Unit B. This license is being required to sunset because it is not within the block density cap limit. It also overlaps, as far as ZOE is concerned, with the other 2 remaining STRs on the same parcel. License number 0326 being required to sunset. We select the next ball, please. The machine has selected ball number 123, which represents license number 0145 for 425 Eardley Avenue, Unit A. This license is required to sunset because it is not within the block density cap limit. Furthermore, it overlaps with the 1 remaining STR on the same parcel. License number 0145 being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? This being the final ball on this block, 125, which represents license number 0326 for 425 Eardley Avenue, Unit C, is now within the block density cap limit. It also complies with the zone of exclusion limit, with the 2 licenses on the same parcel already being determined to sunset. License number 0327, not being required to sunset. We have required 2 licenses on this block to sunset and 1 license not to sunset. We will now move on to our next block. The block that we will consider for the lottery is block number 074, which is located between Mermaid, Monarch Pines, Del Monte, and Sea Palm. It has 34 parcels, 7 STRs, and the density cap allows for 5 STRs. Please note that we have 2 STRs on this block, which are predetermined as far as the ZOE compliance is concerned. However, we are subjecting them to the process for transparency and record. Now I'm placing the 7 balls representing the 7 STRs on this block in the lottery machine. Now I will ask Sandra to select the first ball. The ball being selected is 49. This represents license number 0221 or 717 Mermaid Avenue. This license is both not within the block density cap limit. It also has a ZOE conflict with an STR that was determined to not sunset on an adjacent block. So license number 0221 required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? The next ball being selected is 50, which represents license number 0371, which is for 715 Mermaid Avenue. This license is not within the density cap limit. It also has a ZOE overlap with an STR that was determined to not sunset. So license number 0371 required to sunset. We select the next ball, please. The machine has selected ball number 47. This represents license number 0377 for 735 Mermaid Avenue, Unit D. This license is both within the block density cap limit. It also is clear as far as the ZOE limit is concerned. So license number 0377 not being required to sunset. We select the next ball, please. The machine has selected ball number 51. This represents license number 0398 for 765 Mermaid Avenue. This license is now within the block density limit. Although it has overlap, but it does meet the block density limit and is therefore not required to sunset. License number 0398, not being required to sunset. We select the next ball, please. The machine has selected ball number 52, which corresponds with license number 0407 4701 Mermaid Avenue. This license is now within the block density cap limit. And it also complies with the zone of exclusion limit because the next door STR was determined to sunset. So license number 0407 is not required to sunset. And we select the next ball, please. The next ball selected is 4A6, which corresponds with license number 0325 for 861C Palm Avenue. This license is not being required to sunset because it stands clear as far as the ZOE limit is concerned. It is also within the block density limit, provided that we have determined 3 not to sunset, 1 in the chamber, and that we have 5 as the density cap limit. So license number 0325 not being required to sunset. We select the next ball, please. The final and last ball on this block being selected is 48. This represents license number 0027, which is for 723 Mermaid Avenue. This license is within the block density cap limit and therefore not required to sunset. License number 0027 not being required to sunset. So on this block, we have required 2 licenses to sunset and 5 not to sunset. And we will move on to our last block. Now we are considering block number 214 for the lottery, which is located between 5th, Ocean View Boulevard, 4th Street, and Central. It has 3 STRs. Apologize, 3 parcels, 2 STRs, and density cap is 0. I will now place the 2 drawing balls representing each STR and the lottery machine. And I will ask Sandra to select a ball, please. The machine has selected ball number 75, which corresponds with license number 0038 for 105 5th Street, Unit A. This license is required to sunset because it is not within the block density limit, 1. 2, it overlaps with the STR that is yet to be determined on the same parcel. So license number 0038 being required to sunset. Can we select the next ball, please? And the final ball selected is 76, which represents license number 0332 for 105 5th Street, Unit B. This license, although not within the density cap limit, now stands clear of ZOE with the one already being required to sunset. So license number 0332 not being required to sunset. So we have required 1 license to sunset on this block and the other not to sunset. And with this, we have concluded the block by block basis lottery. And now I will allow for some time for my colleagues to do a final tally. And please.
We publish I would like tomorrow also letters. So question. Contact tomorrow. By post on the website that letter tomorrow.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Nice job.
Yeah.